Backlogs. The one word that makes so many students anxious when it comes to studying abroad. If you're someone who has backlogs on your academic record and you're wondering, can I still get into a good university abroad? This video is for you. Let me start with the truth that most people won't tell you. Backlogs do not define your future. What defines you is how you bounce back, how you plan your next move, and how determined you are to still make your dream of studying abroad come true. Thousands of students each year with 5, 10, sometimes even 20 backlogs are still accepted into universities in the USA, UK, Canada, Australia, and beyond. The world of international education is evolving. Universities are becoming more holistic in how they assess applications. They now look at more than just your marks. They look at who you are as a person, what you've overcome, and what potential you bring. Before we dive into countries and policies, let's first understand what backlogs really are. A backlog is simply a subject or an exam that you didn't clear on your first attempt. That's it. It doesn't mean you failed as a student. It means you had a challenge. Maybe it was a health issue. Maybe it was a tough semester. Or maybe you were juggling responsibilities outside the classroom. And the best part? If you've cleared that subject later, it's a cleared backlog, not an active one. Backlogs generally fall into two categories: active and cleared. Active backlogs are those you still haven't passed. Cleared backlogs are the ones you've passed in a later attempt. Some universities might refer to these as arrears or repeat subjects, but the meaning is largely the same. Now let's talk about a very important document. The Backlog Certificate. This is an official paper issued by your college or university. It lists all the subjects in which you had a backlog, how many times you attempted them, and whether you cleared them. It includes your name, course details, university stamp, and dates. Not all colleges give these out automatically, so you'll have to request it. If your official transcripts don't show backlog details, most universities and visa officers will expect this certificate, especially during your final application or visa stages. The big question. Now, can you study abroad with backlogs? The answer is yes, but your success depends on how many backlogs you had, whether they are cleared, and how strong the rest of your academic profile is. This includes your GPA, your scores on tests like IELTS, TOEFL GRE or your statement of purpose, your letters of recommendation, and sometimes even your extracurricular activities. Still wondering if your number of backlogs is just too high to make it? Don't worry, you're about to see real countries that accept even 20 or more. You're going to be surprised. Let's break down something that confuses a lot of students: how backlogs are counted. Believe it or not, different countries count backlogs in different ways. There are two main methods: subject-wise and attempt-wise. In subject-wise counting, one subject-wise counting. One subject is one backlog, no matter how many attempts you took to clear it. This method is followed by countries like the USA, UK, and Canada. On the other hand, in attempt-wise counting, every failed attempt counts as a separate backlog. So if you failed the same subject 3 times, it's counted as 3 backlogs. This method is used in countries like Australia and New Zealand. So, someone who has 2 subjects with 3 failed attempts each will have 2 backlogs in the US, but 6 in Australia. That's why understanding how your target country calculates backlogs is critical. Now let's get into country-specific details. Starting with the USA, most universities here prefer applicants with minimal backlogs, usually around 5 to 10. But there are many universities, especially private ones, that accept even up to 20 backlogs. What's important is that the US follows a holistic admission process. That means if your GAR score is high, if your SOP is compelling, and if your overall application is strong, backlogs won't be a... The UK is one of the most backlog-friendly countries. Many universities here accept students with 22, even 30 or more backlogs, especially for postgraduate courses. The focus is more on your final GPA English proficiency test scores and whether you have justified your academic journey well. Canada is slightly stricter. Most universities prefer candidates with no more than 5 to 7 backlogs, especially if your GPA is above 65 or 70%. However, if you're applying for postgraduate diploma programs, some institutions accept up to 10 or 12 backlogs on a case-by-case basis. In Australia, most universities accept up to 12 backlogs. However, since they use the attempt-wise method, you need to be careful. Even if you had only a few subjects you struggled with, multiple attempts can add up. Again, your SOP, GPA and IELTS score play a big role in whether you'll be accepted. New Zealand generally prefers applicants with less than 5 backlogs, but some universities may go slightly higher depending on your overall profile. A strong IELTS score, usually 6.5 or higher, is important, and having a good extracurricular or leadership record can definitely help. Ireland is one of the stricter destinations. Most top Irish universities accept only up to 4 or 5 backlogs, and some even cap it at 2. To compensate, you'll need a strong academic average and an impressive IELTS or TOEFL score. Germany is unique. Public universities are extremely competitive and typically do not accept any backlogs. However, private universities are more flexible, sometimes accepting students with 2 to 7 backlogs. In both cases, a strong SOP and a research or technical background help. Singapore offers more flexibility through its private institutions. Some of them accept students with up to 10 to 20 backlogs, depending on the course. Your final degree marks, English language test scores, and even relevant work experience can make a huge difference here. Here's something to remember. A backlog certificate is often required by immigration or admission departments, especially if your transcripts don't show the number of attempts. This is common in Australia, Canada, and Germany. Make sure you have this document ready as part of your application packet. Now, here are some additional benefits of studying abroad, even with a less than perfect academic record. First, you gain access to world-class education and exposure. You'll study in multicultural classrooms, engage with global faculty, and learn in practical research-based systems. Second, most countries that accept backlog students also offer post-study work visas, giving you a pathway to international work experience and even permanent residency. Third, your confidence and mindset shift dramatically. You're not just overcoming backlogs, you're reinventing your future in a new country. Lastly, you'll build a powerful global network that can lead to internships, job offers, and lifelong connections. Let's now answer some of the most frequently asked questions. Does clearing backlogs in the final semester affect my visa chances? Not directly. As long as your backlogs are cleared and documented with certificates, it shouldn't be a problem. Can I study abroad with active backlogs? No. You must clear all backlogs before your final admission offer or visa application. Does CGPA matter more than backlogs? Both matter. A strong CGPA can sometimes balance a few backlogs. Do diploma programs accept backlog students? Yes, especially postgraduate diploma programs in Canada and Australia. Can I get scholarships with backlogs? It's more difficult. But if your essays and test scores are outstanding, it's still possible. Will high IELTS or PTE scores help? Definitely. Strong English test scores show your academic readiness and can strengthen your application. Do private universities accept more backlogs? Yes. They're generally more flexible than public institutions. Do backlogs affect post-study work visa eligibility? No. Once you're enrolled and complete your program, backlogs don't impact your eligibility for work visas. So, what's the final takeaway? Backlogs are not the end of your journey. They're just a part of it. Every student has a different path. If you take a smart strategic approach by choosing the right country, preparing a powerful application, writing a thoughtful SOP, and being honest about your academic history, you can absolutely study abroad. Your backlogs do not cancel your dreams. They simply become part of your success story. Still confused about your options with backlogs? Drop your questions in the comments, and I'll personally help you out. And if this video gave you clarity, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who needs hope today. Your journey abroad isn't over. It's just getting started. If this video gave you hope or clarity, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment below with your questions, whether you've had one backlog or 15. Your study abroad journey can still happen. Your story isn't paused, it's just getting started.